Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula bore formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? I do think that worked. How the heck are you, Gina?
I agree. I'm amazing, Sean Callaghy. We have an extraordinary crew here today. Why don't you tell us what we're all doing here?
What we're doing here is we're not having lunch. Like lunch would be fun, but this is shorter than lunch and it's better than lunch. As we explore the superpower of integrous influence. Hyperbolic, what are you talking about? I'm talking about that yes is what is causing our marketing, our selling, our managing, our leading, our recruiting, our fundraising, charitably, for profit, all comes after yes. Not pitching, not hooking, not closing, blah. But instead, heart-centered, integrous, adding more value with transparency than we take yes, Gina, and we gamify it with extraordinary people. Who's here? We'll talk about the co-host in a second. Come on now.
First up, joining us from Stamford, Connecticut. He's the National Associate. He was voted as National Association of Realtors 2016 30 under 30 investor, key principal in over 2,000 multifamily units, and general partner of 1,229 multifamily units. Wow. And yes, and there's more. He invested over $5 million of personal equity made from real estate sales into multifamily. Let's all please give it up for Mr. Kyle Kovats. Welcome to the Heart of Influence.
Kyle, congratulations on all your success, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Gina asked if she could borrow $10.
Yes.
That is awesome. And I need $5. Is that cool with you?
Sure.
Excellent. So Kyle, what's your fun fact? A fun fact means, Kyle, something could be your most proud moment. There's a whole bunch we just unpacked there. Might be your most embarrassing moment. Could be a totally surprising or weird moment. For example, my fun fact is in that very water just a few hours ago, I was stung by a large jellyfish. That happened while I was group training the Unblinded Elite. That is a true fun fact. Fernando, yes?
Yes. And you know that
yes. And there was like 4 surrounding us. They were coming to eat us. So it was quite crazy. So Kyle, what's your fun fact that would make us go, Kyle, no way?
I would say my fun fact is that you probably see this in the background, the poster of Greg Schiano here. I wanted him back as the Rutgers coach so bad. When they were trying to find a way not to hire him, I sat in the Rutgers president's office lobby until he came down and I confronted him. And I wanted him to hear me out. And ultimately, he did get hired. I don't know if I'm the reason why, but I'd like to think that putting a little pressure on him helped.
Kyle, keep chopping. The ghost of Jeremy Ito still rings through the Brunswicks, Louisville, and magical days like it. More to come. Do you agree with me, Kyle?
I certainly do.
Yes, I was there when Jeremy Ito made the kick and I stormed the field. That is a true fun fact.
Yeah.
Love New Jersey. Go Scarlet Knights.
Yes, love it. So beating Boston College this past week, it was very fun as well.
That is super. Did it? And by the way, I'm always going to be super transparent. I've been like crazy busy. And that was the first regular season game?
Yeah, it was the first game of the year.
That's a big win for Rutgers. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Love Coach Shiano. By the way, huge North Jersey football fan and participant. I was a high school football player, baseball player in college. I am fully familiar with the Don Bosco, Paramus Catholic, Bergen Catholic, all of it reps. So Rutgers being a superpower is not only great for New Jersey, I think it's great for America.
Yes.
Kyle, welcome to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, brother. This woman would disagree potentially because she hails from Texas. And they think that they own football, except when Don Bosco goes out and whoops the butts of people in Florida and California and Texas and Ohio. Kyle knows what I'm talking about, and then has a pipeline of players to go into Coach Shiano. But this woman started her Heart of Influence career selling crafts on her front lawn as a small tot, progressed to being a top income earner in the space of network marketing. And that ain't easy. But then she progressed to being the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada in a male-dominated industry. First woman ever to do it at the ripe young age of 24, youngest person and first woman. And now she speaks on stages, making magic happen. In fact, she was out at a beautiful meeting in the state of Texas this very day, making magic happen, co-hosting the Heart of Influence, the one and only, let's hear it for her, Bella Verita. Let's hear it. Jersey football coming to Texas to whoop some A. What's happening, Bella? What's your fun fact?
You know, Sean, you talk a lot of smack, but you know, my great state of Texas can really back some shit up. Literally. So you watch out there.
Yes, I do have great respect for Friday Night Lights and the great state of Texas having fun, but I truly do. I mean, Texas.
And I am from the town of the Longhorns. Thank you very much. So, my fun fact, Sean Callaghan, it's pretty funny that you got stung by a jellyfish this morning. A week ago, was in the very ocean that we are going to be taking about 100 people into in a couple of weeks. And it was like the first time that I had gone surfing, because I learned how to surf from a blind man. And I went surfing with, I think, probably 1,000 jellyfish. Like when I was like surfing my arms, they were going like through jellyfish. It was like the weirdest thing I have ever experienced in my entire life. And at one point I popped up on the surfboard and a jellyfish was on there. So I have now been surfing with jellyfish.
Amazing. And this is another example of why New Jersey is better than another great state in the country. New Jersey is better than Florida because our jellyfish don't sting. Isn't that true, Bella?
Well, I would say partially true. If we were in a court of law, Mr. Attorney Man, I would not agree to every state that New Jersey is better than every state, because I pretty much think Texas is the greatest state that there ever was. But we can debate that on a different show later.
Yes, and that's why you moved from Texas to New Jersey. Tee-hee, tee-hee.
I moved. Let's continue, Gina Ricci. Who else do we have?
That's
you
Gina
know I'm on
Ricci.
Sean's
Who else is
side.
here? Because this is what happens when integrous influence is present. Gina, who else do we have?
Next, joining us from the Bronx, New York, 20 years plus of experience as a basketball coach, youth development professional, previous head coach at Our Savior Lutheran High in the Bronx, and a video coordinator at St. John's University. He's the director of the New York Renaissance basketball team as well, giving the dream to numerous young men obtaining college scholarships and playing professionally. Let's all please welcome Mr. Oz Cross to the Heart of Influence.
Oz, the Bronx is in the house. And what is your fun fact, please, Oz, that would make us go, Oz, no way?
So the fun fact, I'm from the Bronx, and I heard you guys talk about Don Bosco and Bergen Catholic. I know they're a football school, but I actually coach and mentor 2 kids from Don Bosco. One is currently in the NBA. His name is Ron Harper Jr., who went to Rutgers, and his little brother is Dylan Harper. They happen to be the sons of Ron Harper Sr., who played with Michael Jordan. And one of my main coaches at Bergen Catholic. So every time they play, I have to sit in the middle because I can't say who I'm rooting for.
Go North Jersey sports, go Bronx. Congratulations, by the way, being from the Bronx, of Aaron Judge on an insane tear with 54 home runs on his way to create, I think, a lot of controversy. Like, Oz, what do you think is going to happen if Aaron Judge breaks Roger Maris's record and sets the American League home run record? And then the guys that broke the National League record had the steroid issues. So what do you think should happen? Should Aaron Judge be known as the all-time single season home run champion? Or like, what do we do with this if he ends up short of Barry Bonds, but breaks Roger Maris's record? Oz, what say you?
It's a tough one. It's a big barbershop debate right now. I mean, those guys, they're not going to put them in the whole team.
Yeah. So Oz has been spared by technical difficulty for officially taking a public position on the issue. Oz, we're super grateful for you being here. Congratulations on all your success. And I love the fact that you have a beautiful intersection with North Jersey sports. And I didn't realize that the Harper family actually had their kids go to Don Bosco. I don't know how I missed that one. So awesome job. And thank you, Oz, for being here. We're gonna have some fun today. Gina, we got Oz. Who else is here?
Joining us today from Detroit, Michigan, President-elect of Legal Marketing Association International, Marketing Director of Clark Hill Law, 650 lawyers worldwide, community advocate for various charitable organizations, brought to us by Craig B. Let's all please welcome Mr. Roy Sexton to the Heart of Influence.
Roy, thank you for being here and welcome to the party.
I feel like I'm on the Wheel of Fortune or something. There's far too much energy here. I don't know how much we have 45 more minutes. I might die. You want to know a fun fact? This could get dangerous. I do have this picture I look at all the time. I don't know if you can tell who those men are. My husband and I are in the middle. That is the boys of 98 Degrees, whose careers at a point they now play the Motor City Casino. And my husband loves 98 Degrees. The first time I took him to see 98 Degrees was 20 years ago when they still were popular. And there were about an audience full of 12-year-old girls and us. And we left after one song because my husband was like, I'm embarrassed to live. Now we go and they know who we are because we do the extra $300 to do the meet and greet. And they're like, Roy, John, they're so happy that someone is showing up, that we have multiple pictures like this around our home, and I have one here at work. So that's my fun fact. We are 98 Degrees groupies, not how I envisioned my life at 50. So that's where we are.
So Roy,
yes,
as a groupie, right? What type of
I don't really care for their music. I like them. They seem like nice people, but please don't ask me for their favorite song because I don't. Una noche. I don't know. I don't like their music.
I'm totally not going to say it. But when you're there, what kind of energy, Roy, are you bringing?
It's a lot like this energy, except I've been drinking, so I can get through it. So we're always on the front row. My husband is just jittery. He's just so excited. And if you met my husband, you go, "This is a 98 Degrees fan." He looks like if Tom Selleck and a lineman on a football team married and had a baby, and he's nuts about 98, just giddy. And then I'm sitting there looking at my phone. I mean, I end up kind of chatting with them about, and Jeff Timmons and I tweet back and forth. He and I have, I would say, a reasonable relationship because I think he thinks it's as silly as I do.
Well, Roy, I appreciate that fully. So I'm hearing like Magnum PI would be a popular show in the household?
It certainly is. We have the complete box set, in fact, and action figures.
Your level
That's
5
level five.
listening is incredible.
That's level 5 listening. So Roy, in all sincerity, we start with a lot of energy and we settle into our hearts as we go.
You mean this
Fun
calms
energy
down
opens-
after a little bit?
in a little bit, but first, let's drop into your heart.
Okay.
Why do you do what you do? Right? This is a massive undertaking. Any position of leadership is often thankless, Charlie.
My career and everything is led by serendipity, and my parents were the kind of people who just didn't say no to things. They were always helpful. I think it's why they never had any money in their lives, but they were always there saying yes to any volunteer activity, anything they could be helpful with. I think also the reason I like working in law, I was in healthcare for a decade and then switched to legal. So next I'll work in the funeral home industry. I think things people don't want for 100, Alex. But I like working with lawyers because I think lawyers, where I intersect with lawyers is that introversion, quite frankly, and a sense of processing the world by absorbing it and then kind of offering thinking. And I think a lot of marketing people come at lawyers like this. And lawyers don't respond well to that. They don't trust that. I feel uncomfortable with that. So I tend to get to know the attorneys as human beings and figure out what their individual voices are and help them feel comfortable putting those voices into ether, because when they go to law school, their tribe of attorneys tend to be hypercritical of one another. They hear voices much of their career. You don't wear the right shoes. You don't belong to the right club. You don't drive the right car. So they're afraid someone's going to make fun of them when they go on social media. They're afraid someone's going to say you're different. And good marketing does emphasize our difference. So I find that safe space for them where they can fully be themselves, protected by me, and have a voice out there, and also navigate. They get a lot of people, when they put themselves out there, they get a lot of people coming at them and they don't know how to navigate that. So I think that's why I find my sweet spot in what I do, and helping person by person. When they find that voice, it's the best feeling in the world. You're like, okay, I did something here. It's nice.
Yeah, beautiful. So what I'm hearing is a deep heart for people.
When I'm well rested, yes.
I can concur with that, Roy. I like people much better when I'm real rested as well.
And what I'm also hearing is the desire to create impact and change.
Sure.
And massive gratitude, because at 27 years old, when I was in the process of going blind, they did not put on the law school brochure, nor did they put on the Columbia undergrad brochure, that the people who are able to generate business are free. Nobody told me that. That's how capitalism worked. So when I was 6 months into my work at one of New Jersey's most prestigious law firms, Lenz, Goldman and Spitzer, and I realized that there was some really sad, weighted down people, like 90% of them. And there was only a few people who felt energized and free. And I said, well, what's the difference? Why are those 40-year-old guys so happy? And why does everybody seem to cause a submission to their leadership? Why are the 65-year-olds like deferring to these guys? And in 1997, I was told the truth. Well, those 40-year-olds, they're the ones who generate the business. And I couldn't have thought of anything as an introvert myself being more disgusting and horrific than marketing and selling. And 2 years later, after quitting my job, going blind, having no money whatsoever and $100,000 of debt, no relationships, no network, no ecosystem, I had 40 people working for me. And I said, I'm going to go teach people how to be free. And that's what this is all about. And that's what this show is all about.
It is funny that we've put we've made marketing a dirty word. I don't know if it's a uniquely American thing or what it is. And legal is particularly rife with that. There were years where marketing was specifically outlawed. And so you've got generations of people that think it's bad, when in fact, marketing is just communicating and matching someone's offering with somebody's need. And it's a very fulfilling. I think my mom, before she passed, was always like, gosh, I wish you were something other than a marketer. Can you be a doctor now that you work in healthcare? Can you be a lawyer now that you work for a law firm? Like, it doesn't work that way, Mom. But I actually like what I do. I've never felt for a minute any shame or regret about ending up doing this. I think it suits my personality. And I like connecting those two sides of something. When someone is like,
Beautiful.
I've got something to offer, and someone's like, and I want that, that's the best feeling in the world. So
Yeah. And Roy and everyone, like, Roy, how do you feel about this statement that marketing at its best is truth? You're just getting the truth.
it should be. It should be. It should be. And done well, it is. I think when people feel pushed or pressured into making a decision that they're not right for, that's when marketing takes a turn. And I think that's why people don't like buying cars, why people don't like doing certain things, because they feel pressured and they don't feel like they have the time to digest what's in front of them. And I think good salespeople, good marketers allow people that space to breathe if they need it, and give them the information they need. So you love buying cars. My husband loves buying cars too. And I said, you got a side hustle, honey. If you could help people buy cars, they'd pay for you to, and then Carvana stepped in there. But I mean, he loves buying the things people hate: appliances, houses, and cars. I'm like, go help the world, be their intermediary, because everybody else hates that. And you could partner with him.
Yeah, amen to no end, because the way that we've raised millions and millions of dollars for charity, having 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, being the only one of 2 attorneys in the country out of 1.2 million in a business case, and the only one that was blind to do it. All of this is exactly what you're sharing. It is understanding the distinctions of when to bring fun energy, hard energy, Zeus energy, and aspirational energy together with indispensable elements and steps that cause federal judges to open listening after they say no 5 times. That cause people who otherwise said, I don't want to donate more than $10,000, with zero pressure, love, and having them see value differently, to donate $250,000 each, 5 of them, which we co-created a little over a month ago, with zero high energy and never any pressure. Pressure is the antithesis of integrous influence. Anything that equals manipulation or pressure is catastrophically non-integrous. So Roy, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm immensely grateful for you being here. And final, I get why you do what you do with the law firm. Why the LMA? What's the purpose of being the president? What's the purpose of moving that forward? Seems like a lot of pressure, seems like a lot of stuff going on. What's on your heart there?
Well, I'm just desperate for validation. But I think for me, 10 years ago when I left healthcare, I just threw my resume out there because I wanted a better title and I wanted to feel more important. And a law firm hired me, and I'm like, that'll be fun. And little did I know. And when I got into it, I realized how different the cultures were, and yet how comparable they are, healthcare versus legal. And I needed friends, and I just started looking around, and I found the Legal Marketing Association and went to a couple conferences and was a real wallflower. And it wasn't until my 3rd conference that a group of 10 wonderful women adopted me. I was lurking by the pool, being a creeper, trying to find some friends. None of that sounds right that I'm saying it out loud. And they said, come sit with us. And I was part of their social media circle, and I really got involved through those channels because I am prone to shyness in groups of people, which no one ever believes. Less so now because of what being part of the association has done for me. And it sometimes feels a bit like a cult, a good one. But I then found a career at 40 and felt like I had a real sense of purpose getting to know and work with these people. And when I have a bad habit of anything I love, I'm on part of several theater companies, and I always end up on their boards, and I end up not liking the theater after I go through that process. But I'm always like, sure, I'll help, sure, I'll do this. And sort of one thing has led to another serendipitously in my favor, and here I am stepping into this role, and I just hope I don't screw it up. I feel like the dog that's finally caught the car, though, and I'm like, what do I do with this? So more to come, but I do feel like it's an association of people that truly support each other in we have challenging jobs. We don't get the income that is the fee earners get the origination. We're not like sales marketing people in other organizations. And also it's a lot of pressure. Attorneys don't have a lot of patience working with their support teams. And so we need each other and lean on each other.
Well, Roy, as somebody who has a 125 person law firm and also has the most tremendous heart possible for bringing integrous influence forward to people's messages in the world, I honor what you do. I thank you for being here. And we have a little bit of fun today. Can we have a little bit of fun, Roy? Is that okay?
Maybe. As a PR, I gotta say this, as a PR media person, I know you do this, probably 8 of these a day. You are so on message. Like you get those data points in there. Like I could go, I love writing pink unicorns. You're like, it's funny. I wrote a pink unicorn once and raised $4 million for Ronald McDonald House of Saskatchewan. I mean, it is very impressive. I just want to say, very impressive.
I want a pink unicorn. I love this. Like, see,
I love
a pink unicorn, I think is a great idea.
Yes, I love the integrity. And by the way, every single word that we say is 100% documented. So thank you, Roy, for being here. Appreciate you very much. Gina, we got a groupie here for like rock bands. Who else is here?
Next up, this guy's fun too. He's like surrounded by calculators from New York, international CPA in New York, serving medium businesses, bilingual English and French expertise, has clients all over the world, including Asia and Africa. Let's all please welcome Matthew Aimlan. Welcome to the Art of Influence. Sorry.
Matthew, welcome to the party, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. How do you pronounce your last name? Because I'm not quite sure that we got it correct.
It's Emlon.
Okay. Well, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that very much. And Matthew, what's your fun fact?
Yeah, my fun fact is, as Roy just said, I mean, I was meant to be an actor. So I used to act. Yeah, I used to act as an amateur in theater back in Paris, France. So most people were predicting me to become an actor, and I ended up having all those calculators on my background, and ended up being an accountant. So that's what I've been doing over the last 15 years. Instead of being acting, so I'm acting for small business owners, individual, and trying to minimize their taxes. Yeah, that's my act.
Very, very cool. I appreciate that very, very much. And what is it about causing acceleration in people's finances, minimizing tax liability that touches your heart, Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, it's the human side. You have to be compassionate. You have to be able to listen to whatever concern small business owners may have. We also deal with individuals, so they may have succession planning. So we have people who are 70-year-olds. They live in outside of the US. They have some assets. And the question is, how do I pass on everything to the kids that I have without paying a lot of taxes? So we help them with planning their taxes. And yeah, so if you're a small business owner, you need money, right? So you say, I started out, I have $100,000 debt. Some small business owner, they have good business idea, but they don't have most commercial, traditional mainstream banks, commercial banks. They don't want to give money to startups owners, even if you have a great idea. So they need to find some way. They need to find someone to get them the money. So they start with maybe VCs. If they don't have VCs, they have to find over lenders. So we help them all the way. And that's not about accounting only. It's supporting business owners, supporting entrepreneurs in their journey. And some of them have been very successful over the last few years.
I'm hearing a heart for people. I'm hearing impact and direct results. And Matthew, we're grateful for you being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Gina, who else do we have?
She's from Oradell, New Jersey, CEO of Icon Title Agency. She started in 2018, having been in real estate for 20 years. Unique perspective. Having been on the client side, she streamlines the process. No, I'm going to do over. So start it again. All right. Joining us today from Oradell, New Jersey. She's the CEO of Icon Title Agency, which started in 2018, having been in real estate for 20 years. She's got a unique perspective because she has been on the client side. She's streamlined the process between title agency and client, and returned from COVID in March of 2022, already added 3 employees, looking to grow in size and clientele, let us all please welcome Dee Andes to the Heart of Influence.
Dee, thank you for being here today. What's your, mission, vision, and it's D or no?
Yes, D,
Yeah.
yes.
And so what's your mission, vision, purpose in the world?
So I actually stumbled upon real estate upon graduating, or just before I graduated from college about 20 years ago. And I ended up working as a real estate paralegal for most of my 20 plus year career. After, the laws changed with the federal government and how we do settlement and closing, it shifted from attorneys doing closings to title companies doing closings. And I struggled for 3 years with the way title companies were doing it. And I'm like, I could do this better. So I started my own title company.
That's awesome.
Without having the actual experience of working in a title company. I worked briefly when, throughout my career, but not necessarily like full-time, like devoted to title. But with all my experience from the client end and as a title, closer, I feel like I've been pretty successful. I took about a year off during the pandemic, and I'm back, and I brought a couple members of staff with me, and we're slowly building, and it's pretty it's small boutique at the moment, but we're ramping up to kind of build and grow as the business comes in.
Absolutely. Well, Dee, thank you for being here. It sounds awesome. And let me ask you this question: where are you from originally?
I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey.
What part?
I grew up in Cliffside Park. I went to Ohio State. Red Raiders, yeah. I graduated and I went to Ohio State, and then I stayed in Ohio for about 10 years. And then I came back to Jersey, and and pretty much my real estate career just followed me along between both states. So you name it, I've done it.
And Dee, what's your fun fact?
My fun fact: I'm a mom of 3. So as of beginning tonight is my son plays travel hockey. He's 12 years old, and it takes over our entire schedule. So tonight's his first hockey practice, and that's, after this, that's where I'm headed.
And what's the home rink for your son?
I'm sorry?
What is your son's home ice skating rink?
He's part of the Ramapo Saints in Muncie, New York. So it's like it's upstate rink, and we're
5 a.m. 5 a.m. morning, ice skates present. Dee, creating impact in the space of New Jersey real estate. Thanks for being here, Dee.
Absolutely.
Gina.
Next up, from Bridgewater, New Jersey, he's founder of Hill Tax and Accounting since 2012, licensed CPA since '93, tax and accounting for individuals, businesses. He's also licensed in life and health as well, giving him access to advising people, etc. Let's all please welcome Henry Brash to the Heart of Influence.
Henry, how are you?
Well, thank you very much for that.
And Henry, what's your fun fact? Yeah, what's your fun fact? Something we wouldn't otherwise expect to know about you.
Well, I can't really think of anything right now.
There's nothing about you that we would want to know and go, Henry, no way. Like proud moment, shocking moment, frightening moment, nothing. Your whole life.
There's a few facts. I wouldn't exactly call them fun because they haven't exactly been fun for me, but they're interesting but not fun.
Okay, so give us an interesting Henry fact then.
Okay, well, I'll start with going way, way back to like right after college. And actually, I was originally a chemist.
Ooh. So Henry was originally a chemist.
Yes.
That is absolutely an interesting fact. And now what is your mission?
Anyway, I did that for 3 years, and then I made the switch to becoming an accountant.
Beautiful. And what's your mission, vision, purpose in the world? If you have it all your way, right? What is it that you're going to create in the world, Henry?
Okay, well, I want everybody I come in contact with here in this business, or at least, and I like to come in contact with more people, I would like to see them pay the least amount of taxes possible, which would require two things. It would require getting more people in here to talk to me, and more of the ones in here to listen to me.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. And that's exactly what this show is all about.
To get them to yes.
That's exactly what this show's all about. So we're gonna have some fun. Henry, thank you for being here. Your heart is
and I'd like to get more people covered with life insurance and have them realize that that is a more effective way to save for retirement.
Yeah. Forced savings mechanism, intentionality present, because when people determine invest the difference, they don't invest the difference all that much. So Henry, thank you so much for being here.
I think my husband has said that to me. I'd like you to pay more attention and listen to me more. It's a good mantra.
Right.
Oh my God, I love Roy. He is super fun. So Gina, yes, who else is here?
Next, joining us, also from the Bronx, he's founder of Keeping Youth Dreams Alive, coach and mentor for the past 40 years, from high school JV teams to leading some of the top amateur players in the nation. His true legacy is in the numbers of young people that he's helped get on the put on the direct right path. Let's all please welcome Victor Hall to the Heart of Influence.
Victor, thank you for being here. And what is your fun fact, please?
Let me see. My fun fact is at the age of 14, understanding I had a gift as far as with children and my peers, not knowing exactly what that gift was and using that gift to the betterment of all, and then really learning what that gift was when I went through formal training many years later.
And what is that gift?
What that gift is, for some reason, and it was given to me, that I can go into a situation where a youngster is angry or upset, or someone's angry or upset, and something about my spirit and the words just come, and I am able to calm that individual down, redirect them, and that's it. And I understand it's a gift.
Excellent. Well, Victor, that connecting, that settling, that presence, thank you for bringing that here today and bringing that to the world. Are you ready to have some fun today, Victor?
Yes. Oh, one thing. It's not keeping, it's keep youth dreams alive. Okay?
Thank you.
Keep youth dreams alive.
Right, keep youth dreams alive. I have to thank Arnold Schwarzenegger for that title. So
thanks. Arnold is in the house. Conan is present, Gina. Who else is here?
Joining us today from Greenwood Village, Colorado, he's a managing partner and co-founder of Summit Hill Wealth Management, helps affluent clients protect, grow their wealth through financial planning, investment. Since 2006, he's graduated, Sean, as magna cum laude from Columbia University, and was previously a senior director and team leader at BNY Mellon Wealth Management. Let us all please welcome Mr. Eric Walters to the Heart of Influence.
Hey, everybody.
Eric, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Sean. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, everybody.
Before we get into fun facts, how does one become magna cum laude from Columbia? Because I certainly couldn't have found that with a roadmap at Columbia. So like, what is actually the standard? I was busy in the gym. I was definitely not at Low Library. I was at the gym and on the baseball field. I wasn't partying, but I was definitely not magna cum laude. So what is the standard for that? Like, this is extraordinary.
You just gotta, kind of hit the books. And, my social life at Columbia was completely boring. So I was the guy in the library staying until 10 p.m. I was actually married at the time. And so I think that was a big part of it. And it's actually my fun fact. So originally I'm from Wisconsin and found my way to New York City, but I was broke and my parents couldn't help me. So I worked full time while I put myself through Columbia part-time. So I was older than most of the other students. I would, get up at 6 a.m. and study and go to work and then take the subway up to Columbia. And so I didn't always fit in, right? I'm kind of like basically a poor guy living in Spanish Harlem. So all the East Coasters, I love it because I was in New York City for 9 years and Connecticut for 6. So love the East Coast spirit, but putting myself through Columbia part-time was a real, life-changing experience just because I valued every credit. I've, exited, with debt. I had to work that off. I worked crappy jobs, to get it done. So I think that's really shaped, my perspective. I'm really grateful for what I have.
That's awesome. So like in the Ghostbusters filming, were you sort of in the background at like little library studying?
Oh yeah. I mean, I could have been, like the dork walking from, the cafeteria to the library. That would be me. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it very much. And congratulations on all that you're up to in the world. Yeah. Gina.
Sean, we have one final guest, the guy who brought most of these people together today, co-founder of 194 Real Estate Group with his wife, Catherine, since 2019, 18 agents and production of over 32 million, sits on multiple boards, one of our extraordinary elite partners here at Unblinded. We love this man. Let's all please welcome Mr. Jay Levine to the Heart of Influence.
Jay, we love you, brother. Super fired up. We're down here ready for the National Investment Banking Association Conference with Andrea Catania, also of Elite. And you, brother, like her, are one of our beautiful HOI partners. Loving you, brother. Your heart is fully present. I've known Jay for many, many years, long before his real estate days. And this dude is a person of the community of heart and all the beautiful things. So Jay, welcome. Thank you for co-creating today. And what is your fun fact?
So, well, thanks for having me, Sean. You look really tan today too. I must say this Florida weather is really doing something for you.
That is a Jersey tan from much surfing, this Florida stuff. I'll deal with it. Okay.
You're right. That looks like an LBI tan to me. So my fun fact. All right. So I'm a little bit of a collector. Let's say I don't, if I see a garage sale, I might stop and, check the back of a picture for, I don't know, the Declaration of Independence. Who knows what might be behind there. So just yesterday, I was cleaning out my basement because we're moving, and I was looking through some old stuff, and I found like an old gaming system, which is also something I collect. And I found a game, and it was a Pokemon game. So Fernando, I'm sure, is very excited to hear that. It's a Pokemon game, and it was fully wrapped in the plastic. And I was like, that's weird. Why do I have this? And it was really old. And I looked it up, called my buddy, and it's worth like $700. So now my kid gets a PS5 for one old game. So there we go.
Fernando offered $5. It is not 700. Fernando, you lose. Jay, we love you. Welcome to the party. Let's do the things. You ready, Jay?
I am ready, man.
All right, Gina, we love you. Mwah. Peace out from the multiverse. Bella,
peace out.
Who's going first?
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Gina Ricci. And before we kick this show off, Sean Callagy, I want to introduce my co-host, only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016. Both had $0 offers going in, and both ended with 8-figure punitive and 8-figure compensatory damages. I just like saying those words because I feel like I get to play an attorney on TV. Not only is he a top trial attorney, he has also spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, and most recently was named one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys in New Jersey. And what I am proud of him most for is he, over this summer, has raised $5.6 million for refugees in Ukraine, speaking on stages. My co-host, the wonderful, extraordinary, amazing Sean Callagy.
Thank you. Too kind. This is all about that. I was a guy going blind. I had no money, no relationships, nothing. And I realized that influence with integrity was a superpower as a guy who failed freshman high school geometry for the year, as a guy that ran for class president in 7th grade, and I think got 2 votes out of 100 kids, and was ate lunch in my car by myself for most of my sophomore year at Columbia, truly as an introvert. I'm not joking. And then went on to become captain of the team my senior year as I began to study the idea of leadership and integrous influence. So that's what's happening. That's the game we're playing. There is a superpower of influence, and it is affecting the money, time, and magic you have based on what you do with it, how emotionally we deal with our fears of failure and rejection, which Roy so brilliantly pointed out, because we are all afraid, especially licensed professionals, to speak our heart and to get out there and support and love people. So that's what the show is all about. So Bella, who's going first?
First up, we have our friend Kyle.
Kyle, this is the deal. Bella will be anybody you want her to be. She could be an ideal client, somebody you're looking for an investment from, for charity, not for charity. I don't know, a strategic partner, whatever would be a yes that would matter to you. So Kyle, who would you like Bella to be?
Probably a top producing realtor.
Ooh, as the #1 former business.
I don't even have to play that role.
Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bill, it's Kyle Kovats. How are you?
I am extraordinary, Kyle. How about yourself? What can I do for you today?
Good, good. Just was curious. I know we've done some deals before in the past, and just wanted to see, how things were going this year so far with your production and everything.
Yeah, I would say, so far so good this year. Obviously the market's been a little bit volatile, but I have been in the industry long enough to be able to navigate, any conditions that come my way.
Sure. Did you file for an extension this year on your taxes?
I might file an extension every year on my taxes.
So you got a big bill due in about a month from now?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The reason I was just curious is I've been talking to a number of agents about this recently. I've been, investing more and more in real estate recently. And, I don't know if your accountant has shared this with you, but with the bonus appreciation right now, there's a lot of realtors, myself and others and other real estate professionals who have gone from paying 6 figures in income taxes annually to, now paying 0 since 2017 every single year. And, every single year making more money while doing that. So, just wanted to kind of share some info with you on that. Obviously, I can't advise you on tax stuff in particular, but I think it'd be something worth looking into, because I think a lot of us, when we're trying to navigate our business and plan for the upcoming year, a lot of times we, don't account for our biggest expense, which is taxes. We just assume that we're going to have to pay that. So just wanted to reach out to you and, see, if you want to talk to your CPA, or I could put you in touch with my CPA and they could, kind of discuss what that looks like with you.
Yeah, I appreciate, first of all, I just want to say, I appreciate, not trying to cut my CPA out of this or, it just, that feels very integrous. You've presented a great option, and I'm very, very curious. Something I haven't thought of.
Yeah. And, one of the things that I think holds some people back on this end is a lot of people don't want to, top producing realtors like yourself and like others don't want to, get the calls at 2 a.m. for the leaking faucet and things of that sort. So while I started, my investing career, doing 2 to 4 family subdivisions, flips and stuff like that, it is very time consuming. So I could certainly appreciate that. So if that wasn't something you were interested in, we do buy apartment complexes, and we, do allow past investors to come on, and everybody shares the benefits of the appreciation, the cash flow, and the depreciation for tax purposes as well. So if you're not going to be buying your own properties, but you still want to benefit from the wealth building aspect, the passive income, and of course, tax benefits, certainly happy to share some of that information with you as well.
That sounds extraordinary, Kyle. I look forward to a longer conversation.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle, excellent work. We'll see what the judge have to say in a second. Bella, who's going now?
We have our friend Oz, ready to rock and roll from his mobile office.
Extraordinary. Oz, who would you like Bella to be?
And Oz, you just want to unmute. We see you perfectly, but just find that unmute button, and that'll make this party even more fun. There we go.
Please
like
don't have a car accident, whatever you do.
No. I'm pulled over. I'm stopped now. I got to my location.
You've made me nervous for 50 minutes, sir.
Oh, this is my life.
Oz, who would you like Bella to be?
Okay, Bella. So you are going to be a mother of 4.
Holy crap. Okay.
Oldest son is a basketball player. His dad and his grandfather and his uncles all went to the same high school.
Okay.
Also works part-time because you guys can't afford just the living expenses. And I'm going to try to convince you to take your son out of the high school to go to a prep school.
Whoa.
Oh. Okay. Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, how you doing? This is Coach Oz. How's everything going?
Exhausting. Oz, it's just been really busy, but how are you?
Good, good. Can't complain. Can't complain. How are the little ones?
They are busy, as you well know, the season's gonna be kicking back up here soon. So getting ready for that and just staying busy. And in the summers, school starting again. So a lot going on.
Okay. All right. So I won't hold you, but I want to talk to you about the opportunity that happened for Daniel. I got a call from a prep school, St. Thomas More in Connecticut. It's an outstanding school, $70,000 tuition. They're willing to offer Daniel a full scholarship, but he would have to leave next week and go there and room and board out there.
You want to take my baby boy?
Yeah, well, they just had a scholarship open up. They had a kid that was there and just committed to college. So they had a scholarship open up and they saw him over the summer and they just called me about it. So I know it's kind of quick notice.
I mean, obviously I would have to, talk with him. This is his career. I mean, it sounds like a dream opportunity that we couldn't pass up. But, I would definitely need to talk to him to make sure that, that was something that he wanted to do.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I know for you and your family and him, it's normally this thing takes about a year for parents and families to decide. But this is an opportunity, not only academically, but athletically for him, where every single kid in that school ends up getting a Division I scholarship. And I know it's a little bit tight there. So
like everyone?
Every kid that they have that they offer scholarship gets a scholarship. They won't offer him a scholarship if he wasn't a Division I athlete.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you think, how does this, improve his, chances at, maybe playing professionally someday?
He would be playing with and against all elite level competition. So again, that's why most of the kids that go to end up going to the high level schools, because they're playing with and against high level competition.
Well, Oz, it sounds like an incredible opportunity for my son. I think it's going to be really hard to have him go, but as I said, I'll talk to him. But it definitely feels like an opportunity that I don't think we wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. We would never be able to send him. So
I appreciate it. We'll talk.
Yeah, thank you.
Oz, beautiful work. Kyle, beautiful work. Bella, let's get to the judges at speed. We're getting a little low on time. What do we got?
All right, judges. So we're going to give like 20 seconds of feedback to either Kyle or to Oz. Something that they did great, something that they could improve on, and then a score of 1 to 10. 1 being you would rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation. 5 is like, if they bought you one of those like fun, fancy drinks at Starbucks, you would definitely meet them out for a fancy frappuccino or something. And 10 being you would pick Sean and I up in a private jet and fly anywhere in the world just to have a longer conversation. So Mr. Roy, let's start with your 20 seconds of feedback for Kyle.
I love that Kyle seemed to have a good business solution to match your needs and got into that. Part of it, I like that Kyle got right to the point, but my only issue is Kyle seemed like he went right to business and there was little time for, hi, how are you? Do you have time to talk to me? That would be my only critique, but I give you a 7, Kyle.
A 7.
So like we're looking at a helicopter maybe with 1 door and a frappuccino for Roy. So Belle, what do you got?
Next up, we have Matthew. Matthew, your 20 seconds of feedback for Oz.
Yeah, I think he was, I like the advisory aspect. He wasn't too pushy. And he was trying to help you with your business. I think it's between 1 and 5, right? 5 is the highest score.
1 and 10.
1 and 10. Okay. So yeah, I would say 8. because of the advisory side, and she wasn't too pushy. She wasn't there to sell you something.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you,
So
Matthew.
prop-
So D, your 20 seconds of feedback for Kyle.
Well, I really like the way that he kind of came straight to business. I mean, I'm pretty busy too in real estate. And real estate, if you don't get to the point, you're going to lose the attention of the person you're speaking to. So I think he did a great job. I think he closed the argument really well, and he got a potential callback for a more in-depth conversation. So I would say 9.
Kyle?
I'm sorry?
Your score for Kyle?
9.
9. Awesome. Let's go, Henry. Your 20 seconds of feedback for Oz.
Okay, well, I thought that Oz did a really great job of explaining what was going on and the benefits to it and how it would help your son in his future career. So factually, everything was great. The way he described it was great. Not too high, not too low. The only thing I was thinking of, and this has nothing to do with Oz, is does a thing like that really happen with 1 week's notice?
Happens all the time.
See, that I wouldn't know. Now I know.
I know. And what would be your score for Oz, Henry?
8 to 9.
8 to
Let's-
9.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Thank you. And Eric, your 20 seconds of feedback for Kyle.
So I thought, Kyle, you did a good job kind of finding a solution. And, I thought you were clearly, kind of offering two different, options. I thought that was really good. My suggestion would be to ask a question before you present the solution, like asking about tax extensions might have confused, but said, hey, do you struggle with taxes? And if she said, yeah, you're like, hey, I've got a solution for you, A, solution B. So that'd be my suggestion. I think it was a 7.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Eric. And Coach Vic, your 20 seconds of feedback for Oz. Oh, you're on mute again. You're 20 seconds. So while Vic is unmuting, how about Jay? How about your 20 seconds of feedback for Kyle, 20 seconds for Oz, and a score? Keep it short and sweet, my friend.
Deal. All right. So first off, I'll start with Oz since that was the first name. So I love your cadence, your comfort in your voice, your certainty behind that. Like the energy that you bring is very calming and certain. And I love the fact that you asked, great questions. I think if I was going to give any optimization, it would be just maybe around a little bit more of the acknowledgments and some of the validations of what they're going through at that point that, what's at stake for them. Overall, though, I think it was great, 8.5. And then for Kyle, Kyle is like the most super certain, knows his shit. It's obvious. It's super obvious. Oh, sorry, stuff, Sean. Knows his stuff really well. And I would say that what I loved most about it was that it was potentially could have been Kyle talking to potentially maybe recruit this agent, but it was led with value add and not the sale. So for Kyle, I'm going to go with a 8.7.
Nice. Awesome. And then Coach Vic, your final for Mr. Oz.
Well, what I did, I took notes on everybody. And Mr. Henry Brash, very interested. Chemist for 3 years. That's a 10. Okay.
But
and Mr.
your feedback for Oz, though. You're giving
Oz?
feedback for just Oz. Yep.
I got to give Oz a 10. Okay, because he's not going to present something that's not worthwhile for someone or for a youngster. So that's why I'll give Oz a 10. Not just because I know him, but because he's not going to present something that's not worthwhile and that will help someone.
Awesome. Coach Vic, thank you. Your heart is present. Oz putting a 10 on the board. Bella, I have a feeling that it's time to put my butt on the hot seat. This is where Bella gets her fun, and the extraordinary Oz and Kyle jumped into this participant seat. And Bella will give you a series of different possibilities. I think Roy might like to put my butt on the hot seat. And let's see if Roy's up for it. If not, he can assign it to somebody else. But Bella,
what am I doing to you?
What this looks like.
Yeah. So what this looks like, everyone, is like, this is the time in the show where I get to do a little reverse role play. I get to put Sean on his butt on the hot seat for all of the endless torture and pain and hard work he makes me go through all the time, flying to Necker Island and Florida and Belgium to speak on stages like Disney and T-Mobile. It's really exhausting. So I get to pay him back now. And we get to do a reverse role play. And so what this looks like, come up with some scenarios that we get to choose, or you can choose any scenario that you would like. But option number one would be to influence Eric to go with you, Sean, Roy, and his husband to go see a 98 Degrees concert or 90 Degrees show. That's option number one. Option number two, Sean and everyone, is Jay, because Jay knows Sean very well, has known him for many, many, many years. So Jay would actually play you, Sean, and you would play Roy in role influencing Jay to join LMA. So that would be option number two. Option number three is to get to work to influence Kyle to do all of his real estate transactions using Dee's title company, or it could be anything that you want to choose, Roy, and we can take a vote. So, Roy, what do you think?
And we've done things like President Biden convincing President Putin to end the war, and President Trump convincing President Biden, Biden, Trump, any political situation, business situation, if you don't like any of those
I like
choices.
the 98 Degrees concert option.
Okay, so I'm convincing then.
I don't remember who's convincing what, but
I
whatever.
went with Eric, convincing Eric to go to 98. And Sean, you have to go too. So it's you, Eric, and Roy and his husband.
All right, let's do it. So
Are you up for this, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Eric, thank you so much for taking 3 minutes and put on the calendar. I know you're super busy. Is it still a good time to chat?
Yeah, absolutely. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, great to talk to you, Eric. So Eric, can I ask you this? It was amazing meeting on the Heart of Influence, but what's truly like on your heart? Like when you think about impact, what you're looking to create in the world, like what is it really about? Like the life, business, what is it for you, Eric?
You know, for me, I've, learned that I think the greatest joy in life is just helping people. And for me in my work, that means like keeping people safe, financially, but also, helping them grow. And so for me, that gives me a lot of joy, just helping people. And I think of my clients kind of like sheep, you kind of want to keep them safe, make sure they can kind of get to where they want to be.
Yeah. And in a nation where over 90% of people live paycheck to paycheck during a time of immense complexity, inflation, but all sorts of interesting indicators suggest, and some predictions from people like Ray Dalio for catastrophic financial collapse coming. Even Ray Dalio saying his artificial intelligence predicts a 30% chance of a civil war in the next decade. All of this uncertainty. What would you want people to know? If you had just 15 to 30 seconds, what would you, Eric, want people to know about money and the future of this American and world economy? Like what's on your heart about it?
I think two things. One is that if people think about the happiest moments in their life, rarely is money the central character. It's really money enables relationships. And so I think it's not about how much money you have, it's whether you're using it to enable relationships, enable experiences that really last a lifetime. And then as it relates to those fears of kind of financial collapse, those have been with us through history. And, if you have a diversified portfolio, if you have a kind of a smart approach, you can endure difficult times, and a prudent approach can contemplate even a civil war or a Great Depression or stuff like that. So we have gotten through those difficult circumstances in the past, and it's possible to build a plan that could get through something terrible like that in the future.
All right, thank you. I knew I should have studied more at Columbia. Very impressive. And so, Eric, would it be okay if I shared a couple of things? I'm fully present to your brilliance, your sense of history, and your caring for people. Would it be okay if I shared just a little bit about something that may or may not resonate for you?
Sure.
Okay. So you met Roy on the show, and clearly his wit is fully present. But beyond his wit, he's a person of tremendous influence. The Legal Marketing Association, LMA, is a powerful organization full of heart-centered people that are working inside of law firms to get their messages to the world. And you met him, and he's smart, and he's fun, and he's cool, and he's the president-elect of this organization. He, as you heard, is a huge fan, actually, he and his husband, of 98 Degrees. My listening of him maybe is like he's there because he's a loving, supportive husband, as opposed to his true fandom himself, which is a beautiful thing. But I have an idea. What would you say if I were to come up with 4 front row tickets? I know a guy who knows a guy, and I can get tickets to anything. And we went with Roy and his husband, had an extraordinary time, and looked at what we can co-create in the world. Now, whether or not you're a fan of 98 Degrees, I believe that what may resonate is it's going to be super fun. We're going to laugh and have an amazing time energetically. But I also think with what you're up to, Roy's up to, I'm not even 100% sure what his husband's up to, but I would be honored to attend as well, that we can really have a fun night and begin to co-create some magic. If that doesn't resonate, I completely understand, but how do you feel about that idea?
I think that sounds great. It's been a long time since I've listened to 98 Degrees, but, clearly Roy and his husband are really excited about it. And, it'd be good to see it from their perspective, right? I think sometimes when people are so joyful about something, you kind of absorb that joy. So yeah, definitely, let's do it.
Love it, brother. All right, let's get it set. I'll call Roy and see if they're up for it. At a roll, Roy, how'd I do with the 98 Degrees scenario?
Lovely. I bet they're playing in someone's backyard bar mitzvah. It's pretty easy. No, you did lovely. I love that it wasn't about the getting him to go to the show. It was like, let's talk about things that are truly important to us. And while I got you on the hook, do you want to go see this awful show? I thought you did a fine job.
Right.
Integrous influence at its best. You are the master.
Yes, and Roy is definitely funny as could be. So Roy, thank you for your heart, for your leadership, and for spending this hour plus a little with us today. I know you got a super busy schedule. How was your time with us here today, Roy?
Thanks for having me. It's fun.
Awesome. Well, great time. Roy has been present. Eric, how about yourself, brother? Thank you for stepping into the scenario. How was your time on the Heart of Influence?
It was great. Thanks. I had no idea how you're going to try to present, get me to go to that concert, but you did a great job.
Well, brother, the dude runs the LMA. So you and your business,
that would be overselling the LMA. I mean, it's not like the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences or something.
Whoa. So now my marketing colleague, let's have a conversation. How many members of the LMA are there, Roy?
Back to me. We have 3,500 members and ambitions to grow. We are a very substantive organization. I don't take compliments well, nor do I take them on behalf of people I love, which is a terrible, terrible character flaw. But yeah, it's a great organization, and I do appreciate the love you're showing us. But we are not the United Nations. Just keep your expectations in line.
But let me ask this question straight up for Eric in pure fun and brilliant marketing ecosystem merging energy. Eric, truly, if you had a business choice, would you rather speak to an organization of 3,500 marketers inside of law firms as large as Roy's as one with 650 attorneys with the full LMA? Let's do a little calculation, 650, 6,500, something like that, potentially representing more than 100,000 lawyers and law firms, that organization, like lawyers, right? Or the United Nations, which do you think might be more accessible and directly impactful for you, Eric, in financial services? Eric, your thoughts.
There, Sean. Well played.
It would be the LMA. We tend to work with business owners, and a lot of those attorneys own their own firms. So yeah, I'd rather talk to the LMA than the United Nations.
Having some fun. Roy, thank you so much for being here. And Eric, thank you so much for being here as well. Bella, let's go to Kyle. Kyle, great job as a participant, sitting in the vulnerable seat. How was your time with us today on the Heart of Influence?
Great. It was very interesting to participate and see everybody. Typically with things like that, it's like a 2-hour type of presentation where I'm teaching a class. And so that was certainly something new for me to kind of cold call somebody and, be like, hey, do you want to get involved in this? So it's definitely different than what I'm typically used to doing when, speaking about that opportunity. So it was cool to be able to, experience that and I guess get out of the comfort zone of what I typically do with that.
Yeah, and what we talk about, Kyle, also, like obviously, I don't think anybody here is cold calling people about their services for like selling them. But when you do communicate with people that you don't know about shared experiences or potential partnerships, that's how you can source incredible relationships with people you don't already know. And that's the entire platform we created. This was created because we couldn't do live events, number one. And number two, larger live events. This is a version of what I did at the Capitol Grill, becoming the #1 client in Paramus, New Jersey, one of their biggest, busiest restaurants in the country for many, many years to build my business. I would bring 6 to 8 really cool, awesome people together, and we talk about things and we play some games and have some fun with influence. And when I thought about COVID and like, what do we do now? That was the advent of the show. And you find folks have joined more than 3,500 people, 3,500 people that have been on the show, more than 550 episodes since COVID began. So yes, brother, I'm fully present to the fact of you're not cold calling, to get people to work with you. You're extraordinary. But talking to people we don't know, inviting them to show shared experiences to co-create some ecosystem partnerships and other things together. That's the gist of what we begin with here. So Kyle, again, thank you, brother, for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Let's go, D. Thanks for being here. Really sorry the bio got screwed up. We'll look into that. That is not a common occurrence, I promise you. And I'm sorry again. But D, how was your time with us?
It was interesting. It's nice to see other people's views on how they generate their business, essentially. I mean, the takeaways were pretty good. I mean, just to see how other people talk about themselves and what they do, it was really interesting.
Yeah, thank you. We aim to please, and we aim to be quite interesting. And in all sincerity, 25 years I've been studying the power of influence, from jury verdicts to fundraising to all the things. And what I found unbelievably distasteful was the idea of pitching, hooking, or closing anyone or anything. And when you step into transparent influence, like we want to create relationships with everybody here, want to build it. And again, in Fun Energy, it'd be really hard to get everybody here, like to dinner. So let's do this. So D, thank you for participating in the Heart of Influence and for sharing your beautiful heart, your family, and all the things. Let's go, Oz. Thanks for jumping into the participant seat yourself. How was your time, Oz, on the Heart of Influence?
It was great. It's my second time. I think I was on here before. So it was great.
Well, thank you for being here, Oz. Belle, do you want to get some other perspectives real quick?
Yeah, so let's hear Matthew, just brilliant, extraordinary. Thank you for your incredible feedback today. And how was your time today on the Heart of Influence?
It was interesting. I didn't know what to expect. It has been a kind of mysterious invitation, and I played the game, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Beautiful.
Well, Matthew, thank you. Belle?
Let's go with our extraordinary accountant, Henry. How was your time today on the Heart of Influence?
I really liked it, and I have to say that I definitely learned something, or well, more than something. And as far as details, I can't really put my hand on anything right at this moment.
Well, Henry, thank you for being here in Fun Energy. One of the partnerships that were created through the Heart of Influence and the work that we do here in the Formula took a financial service provider who sold insurance from 8 sales meetings per month to more than 1,000, and has caused his team to grow from 3 to 30, people to double and double again their incomes. And so we are the biggest proponent in the world of creating strategic partnerships.
Did you say in 1 month?
I'm sorry?
Did you say in 1 month?
Yes, 1,000 sales meetings per month.
In one 30-day month.
Right, but that's why there's 30 people on the team. And it was created, that's Rob Gill is his name. And he has generationally changed things for his family through the work of this formula and what we do here. And that is a true fact. So he's grown his team from 3 to 30 people and created strategic partnerships. So people cause massive amounts of relationships. We created a partnership with a guy by the name of Chris Crone that we co-created with him. and has caused all those meetings. So we believe in exponentiality and the power of possibility, as well as the power of intention with integrity. So Henry, thank you for being here. There's more to talk about. Talk about it in a second. Bella.
Let's go. Let's hear from Eric and then Coach Vic. I'm coming to you next if you want to get unmiked. And Eric, how was your time with us today on the Heart of Influence?
I had a great experience. I didn't know what to expect, but Sean read your bio and was really excited just to meet you and hear more about it. So I had a great experience. Thank you.
Eric, roar, Lions roar. Thank you for being here. Very impressive, brother.
And the man saving our youngsters, Mr. Coach Vic, how was your time today with us on the Heart of Influence?
Well, I want to thank you for having me. It was great. It was great listening to everyone and just learning new things about people. So I can take that back to some of my youngsters and tell them that I interacted with some interesting people.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you, brother, without a shadow of a doubt. And Jay Levine in Final, thank you for co-creating today, magically, wonderfully. You are, and I mean this with all sincerity, if you're going to work with a more integrous, grounded person in the community level, like Mr. Bergen County and beyond in New Jersey, I can't think of them. So Jay, Final.
Well, thank you for that. And Final here is, every time, we get together for one of these shows, it just brings present to me what business is all about. And, everything that we do, we talked about it this morning with my team, everything we do is a shared experience. And it's looking at those shared experiences and being intentional about them. And then having them lead to experiences like, merging with people, like the Kyles and the Roys of the world and the Coach Oz's and the Erics to create more and more impact. And I'm just excited and present to it. And I can't wait for the future, Sean. So thank you. And thank everybody here for being here.
Awesome, Jay. And thank you, everybody. I know we went a little long today for sure. Bella sat in your seats just a couple years ago. She came on, she was like, I'm going to teach this dude a thing or two. And Bella, what have you seen that you didn't see over the course of these couple years?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I saw was I had a thing or two to learn. And, there's a big difference between sales and being a person of influence and being able to influence with heart and integrity. And through mastering the formula, relationships, acceleration, what I've seen over the last couple of years and what I watch Unblinded do for people on a daily, weekly basis is absolutely extraordinary. And I've learned that not is he right all the time, but he is right a bit of the time. And there's so much to learn. And I don't get paid to say that on a show, although I should start getting paid more the more nice things I say, but just absolutely, I've never met a person with more heart, more integrity, and it's just an honor and a privilege to be here and be part of Unblinded.
Well, thank you, Belle. For everybody, let this not be the end, but the beginning. And if it is the end, we wish you blessings and all the money, time, and magic your heart-centered integrity and dreams can bring about. And never let anybody love your dreams more than you do. So God bless. Have a great day. Look forward to connecting soon. Thank you.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
You may be physically blind. I think we're all blind.
And just learning to see.
Just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.